I'm going to share with you how I was able to earn $1,400 in a single day while working full-time in corporate America and having my own online business. Sounds like a dream. I totally get it. But when you start to understand and when you start to have the right things in place, you no longer have to spend 8 hours a day on a business, right? You no longer have to work an 8-hour job and then if you want to make additional income, work another 8 hours. That's a thing in the past. Trust me, I've done it and I never want to do that again. At my age of 54, I'm all about keeping things simple. And my goal is to figure out how can I master a way to make money around my family schedule, around my 9 to 5, until I can obviously get rid of that. So that's what I'm going to break down for you today in this video. And I'm going to share with you how regular everyday people are working 1 to 2 hours a day without DMing people, without that awkward reaching out to people that you've no idea who the hell they are on social media, and with absolutely zero monthly overhead expenses and no crazy tech, no building fancy websites or anything like that. So again, let me introduce myself. My name is Kim. I'm a mom, a grandmother, and honestly, family to me is the most important thing. And as we get older, I realize my kids are my best friends. And we have so much fun together. And look, I'm not an internet guru. I do not have all the answers. And I will never pretend to have all the answers. I'm just a regular corporate mom that's literally so burned out right now. Burned out of corporate America. Burned out of going into the office. Burned out of getting laid off. I've been laid off. My husband and I have been laid off 3 times in the last 10 years alone. And it wasn't until my husband's heart attack last year that's when I really took a deep dive into our retirement and realized how super short we were. And if I did nothing in addition to our 9 to 5 jobs, I'd be working a job for the rest of our life, which is not what I wanted to do. Not because I don't like working, it's just I'm tired of having someone else dictate my paycheck, dictate whether I even have a job or not. So what I'm doing on this channel is helping those people that just want a little extra. Maybe you've been looking for an online business. Maybe you want something to be able to call your own, something that you can control, something to eventually replace your 9 to 5 job. So if that makes sense to you, then keep on watching. So let's talk about why we feel so stuck, right? If you're in Gen X, or if you are a Gen X, our parents got pension plans, right? But for us, those pension plans went away and we have a different kind of retirement plan. So you know what? We did what our parents did. We went to school, got good grades, went to college, moved on, got great corporate careers, started to climb the corporate ladder. And then you know what happened? I don't know what happened with you, but for me, I got laid off. Not once, but twice. And my husband got laid off as well. And how many of you have gone to your local Walmart and noticed an 80-year-old greeter there? Now, I'm sure that there are some people that are doing this by choice just to get out of the house and stuff like that, which is cool, which is great. But you know that there are some of them that don't have a choice. I did not want to be one of those people when I turned 80. I didn't want to be stressed about money when I'm in my 60s, 70s, and 80s. Because you know what? I've already spent years of stressing about money, and I'm tired of it. And when you put someone else in control of your finances, it sucks. Because at any moment they can take that away. There are more people than ever picking up second and third jobs as they get older, which means that they're missing the exact moments that matters the most. And for me, that's spending time with my kids and my grandchild. And it's funny because my career was pretty successful on paper. I climbed the corporate ladder. I made great money. But again, what people didn't see behind the scenes was every time I got laid off, my paycheck got lower and lower. And if you're in your 50s, it's hard to get a job in corporate America. I'm actually grateful for the job that I have now because I didn't think I was going to get one. And I know 1,000% that if I get let go again, I will not get another in my industry. Because number one, I'm older, and number two, I'm in an industry that's dying, so to speak. So yeah, I can, of course, up my skills and stuff like that. But instead of me doing that, I'm focusing on something that I can control. So one of the first things, and this is actually good news, one of the first shifts that's happening online right now is a few years ago, if you had your own business or if you were selling something, you would have to go on social media and you would have to spend hours a day reaching out to strangers, DMing strangers, cold calling strangers on social media. People you didn't know, you'd have to contact them and have awkward conversations. So this is what's called the home business hustle, right? And that's what we had no choice. That's what we had to do. But now we don't have to do that anymore. I don't know about you, but I hated bugging friends and family, strangers that I didn't know, all that good stuff. And I know that there are some of you that are watching this video right now that have done that in the past. And that was hard for me because sometimes I'm an introvert, but it was also harder not having the money to live and provide for my household. So I did it because that's all that we can do. In today's digital world, people are craving real community, real mentorship, and a family supporting them in their corner, as opposed to way back when, if you were in business by yourself, you were literally by yourself and you had no one to ask questions to and all that craziness. And you're building in isolation, which is really hard. So what do we do instead? In 2026, we have free tools in place that we can use to make our system automated. So let's talk about, what does automation really mean? If you're a busy parent, automation doesn't mean that you need to write computer code or be a tech wizard. It simply means setting up a pre-built digital system once that takes care of the selling, the presentation, the customer delivery, the payment, 24/7 in the background while you live your life. So I want to share with you a quick moment that completely blew my mind, because I was at work, I was in a conference room waiting for a meeting to start. It was like 11 o'clock in the morning, hadn't even worked my business that day. I got a text message, I look at my phone, I made a $900 sale. I looked down and I was completely in shock because I hadn't worked my business that day. That's what automation means. It means your revenue stream is completely disconnected from your physical hours. When you go to work, you get paid. If you do not go to work, you're not going to get paid. Your business, the way it works is you create content on social media. Social media pushes your content out to people that might be interested in it, so they actually do the heavy lifting for you. It's almost like when I used to cold call realtors, right? I know, horrible. I used to have to pick up the phone and call people one by one. That is now replaced with you creating some sort of content on social media, which obviously we'll teach you how to do. And instead of you calling people, the social media platforms could actually push your content out to people that they think might be interested. So for me, that someone used to cold call, sign me up. So you might be asking, how do I actually fit this in my schedule? Because I'm completely booked. I'm busy. You don't understand. I get it. I got 5 kids and everyone had their extracurricular activities after work. So I did the whole thing of the kids going to school, I'm at work, right? And then you come home and you have to drive them all over the place. The best part is, if you have everything in place, you can actually build your business in the nooks and crannies of your day. You have 20 to 30 minutes, maybe before work, you can work your business. You have an hour lunch break during your 9 to 5, you can work this business. If you have 30 minutes, maybe an hour after work, you can work this business. And I promise you, I cannot stay up past 11 o'clock. Not only that, I cannot look at my computer past 8 o'clock because it literally gives me a headache the next day if I do. So you're talking to someone that is very limited with being on the computer, being on their phone. Because if I'm on my phone, in fact, it happened last night. I was talking to my daughter. We were FaceTiming for 2 hours yesterday, actually, from 8 to 10. And I literally had to tell her, I need to get off the phone because if I don't, I'm not going to be able to go to sleep and I'm going to get a headache. So this is why I try to get my 2 hours done while it's still daylight, because that's how I work. So yeah, when I'm at my day job, I do a couple minutes during my lunch break. And like I said, you break this up however it works, but just know this, if you can commit to an hour or two every single day, your automations will be working for you 24/7. And I'll obviously go into more detail about how that works. So this is Definitely not some experiment. We actually have a global community of 61,000 people. And here are just some testimonials. We have Paula. She's a former DoorDasher, and she earns about $8,400 a month working 2 hours a day, which I know it seems so hard to believe, but I promise you, once you see the blueprint, which you can get in the description below, it'll make sense. It'll connect the dots. Logan, he's a stay-at-home dad of 4, still working a 9 to 5, which a lot of us are going to do, right? $6,300 in just 9 days. And then there's Shirley. She works her business very part-time, $1,800 in the last 13 hours. Crazy. So again, let's talk about how this is possible without a massive following, because let's face it, when we start something new, we do recommend that you start a brand new social media account, just because, and our trainer will explain it better, but just because we want a fresh account so we can train the algorithm to do what it needs to do, to put your content in front of people that will actually buy. And we, again, show you how to do all that. But here's the thing, in the old way of an online business, you had to build your own product from scratch, which takes a ton of time, energy, and of course, expertise. Or maybe, this is what I did, you signed up for a traditional affiliate program that pays you $12 every time you make a sale. So in order to make a 6-figure income with $12 a sale, you have to find over 8,000 customers a year to make 6 figures. 8,000 customers, that's a lot of people. So 2026, we do things a little bit different, because by leveraging our platform, not only do you not have to share any commissions here because you earn 100% profit, you do not need thousands of buyers. So to replace a full-time corporate career and a stable 6-figure income, you only need 70 customers. That literally breaks down to 6 customers a month. 1.5 customers a month can earn you 6 figures after you get the training, after you implement what you learn. Out of 5 billion people on the internet right now, can you find just 6 people? So one of the reasons why I got started was last year my husband had a heart attack and really gave me the kick in the butt to get serious about this. Because here's the thing, I didn't want to be in the same position that we were last year. You know what I'm trying to say? I didn't want to be, a year from now, I didn't want to be in the same financial position, right? First and foremost, I would need to make sure that in the event both of us lost our jobs, we'd be in a decent position. That was first and foremost. Second was building that retirement. Because here's the thing, my biggest fear is waking up in the same corporate chair next year, still exhausted, burned out, and letting a company dictate my worth. So if you want to learn more about what we're doing, how all this works, how it all ties together, click on the link in the description below and hit that subscribe button so we can keep growing together. And I cannot wait to welcome you inside. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.